Hello friends and welcome to our channel.
In today's video, we'll be checking out a popular chain restaurant that you either love or hate, the Cheesecake Factory.
As two food snobs, it's been over a decade since either of us visited the Cheesecake Factory, and we're determined to find out if a restaurant with a menu the size of a small novella can actually do anything remarkable, or if it simply excels in mediocrity.
Stick around as we take you along for the full experience, from drinks, appetizers, entrees, and of course, their signature cheesecake.
Along the way, we'll provide you with our always candid thoughts and opinions and let you know if we think the Cheesecake Factory is a chain restaurant that's actually worth your money on today's episode of James and Paul Eat It All. You know, I've said for years, Cheesecake Factory is not my thing. You know, the last time I was here was absolutely mediocre. Going in, not expecting much, but I'm hoping I'll be pleasantly surprised. I figure at the very least, it has to be better than Applebee's.
Now, I've seen all the viral, reels. I've seen everybody talk about how they do have a scratch kitchen here. So I'm thinking that we might be pleasantly surprised by this one. Still not holding my breath. It's been more than a decade since I've been to one, but I'm actually a little excited for us to do this one.
My God, this menu is unbelievably big. Like, no restaurant should have a menu this big. Like, that's just ridiculous. I am the firm believer that you can either do a lot of things or you can do things well. You can't do both.
Yeah, that is a huge menu. So many things on here.
And as a food snob, I always instantly lose respect for a place that does a Cajun pasta. But I'm not gonna try it. I'll try something else. I'll try something safer. I wanna come out of this experience having good things to say.
So first things first, I noticed that this menu is still as big as I remember it. It is a huge menu, but we're gonna start off with our cocktails. They have a really expansive cocktail menu with everything, including an entire page of different liquors that you can order, create a mixed drink. So go you, Cheesecake Factory, you're already impressive.
So we've been seated here at Cheesecake Factory, we've ordered some cocktails, and now we're starting to look over the menu, and I am absolutely just frozen. Like, there are so many things to choose from. I have absolutely no idea what we should order to show off. It's overwhelming, which I think is probably, again, my biggest issue.
And now, a brief menu montage. Buckle up, this is gonna be a long one. Now this menu is huge, and rather than bore you by showing you the entire menu, we decided that we're still going to show you the entire menu, just sped up for dramatic measure. We also included a link to the menu in the description, but let me just say that it kept going and going and going.
It just kept going, huh?
All right, guys, so we have just placed our order for a metric butt ton of food. We've got 2 appetizers coming out. We each got an entree coming out, and then our goal is to get a couple slices of cheesecake at the end. We're gonna need to be rolled out of here by the time we're done, but it's time for cocktails. That being said, I went with a pineapple mezcal. Now this is gonna be made with Codijo Reposado tequila, Vita mezcal with fresh pineapple, lime, and agave. I love mezcal, I love pineapple. I think that sounds wonderful. I already squeezed my lime into it. Rule of thumb is if you see a lime, squeeze the lime. That's what it's there for. I'm gonna give it a little taste of what looks like tahini here on the side. Tastes pretty tahini. That's good. That's good. You get a nice little bit of smokiness from the mezcal, as you should, but the pineapple actually kind of mutes it a little bit. So, there's that sweetness that kind of overtakes the smokiness. There's a nice little smokiness on the back end. Really yummy, refreshing, good summertime drink. And you wouldn't know it wasn't summer considering the heat outside, but here, as we're filming in February in Phoenix, it's like 90 degrees. I'm not looking forward to summer, but a nice, cool, refreshing beverage, that's gonna help me get through the day.
So I decided to go with a fresh cucumber martini. Now I love a cucumber cocktail. It's one of my favorite things. So let's see how the Cheesecake Factory does it. Now the fresh cucumber martini is going to be Kettle One vodka, Hendrick's and elderflower liqueur with freshly muddled cucumbers. They're using some good stuff on this. So I'm already excited. Let's give it a sip.
I mean, that does sound pretty darn good.
Oh, that's amazing. Getting a little slight hit of the herbal flavor, the coolness of the cucumber. I can't taste the vodka, which is good if you're somebody that doesn't like the alcohol taste. This is a great cocktail. It's refreshing. And in a hot day like it is here in Phoenix today, this is a perfect cocktail. Cheers.
So far, I'd say that's a win for the cocktails here at Cheesecake Factory. Now it's time to taste the signature Cheesecake Factory bread.
Moments later.
All right, guys, it's carb time. So I'm gonna go for their classic and signature like brownish bread here. I remember it being tasty, so let's find out. You gotta get a little butter on there. Okay, that's pretty good bread. It's soft, it's chewy, it's malty. There's a nice little bit of sweetness to it. It's actually pretty good. I can't complain. The bread's good. I'm even going up for a little bit more butter.
I can't wait to try that butter, being the butter boy.
You are the butter boy. You put butter on everything. Like I use the tiniest little bit of butter, except for like what bread and butter. Then I'm like slather it all on.
So since James tried the brown bread, I'm gonna go in here for the sourdough. Oh, it's kind of crusty. Oh, it's not really a sourdough. It looks like it's more of a ciabatta because the big holes. You can definitely tell that this bread had some good proof to it.
This is how long we've been, since we've been to Cheesecake Factory. We have no clue what the heck this is.
It's been a decade for me, so let's give this bread a taste. Okay, the bread passed the bread test. Firm, chewy on the outside, but soft and pillowy on the inside. So they definitely know what they're doing with this bread. As somebody who has baked bread before.
Baked a lot of bread.
I baked a lot of bread. I used to make the sourdough during the pandemic.
There was a point where you were baking bread like every 2 days.
Oh, I was baking bread every 2 days because my sourdough starter needed to be fed and I didn't want to get rid of it, so let's make some bread. Cheesecake Factory passed the bread test.
Alrighty, friends, our appetizers have arrived, and we went with 2 different appetizers so we could show you a little bit of variety. And the one that I'm most excited about, though, is going to be the ahi poke nachos. Now, these are going to be made with crispy wontons covered with Hawaiian-style ahi tuna poke, avocado, green onions, chilies, sesame seeds, and sriracha aioli. Try and get a good bite covered with a little bit of everything.
They're stacked.
That's actually really good. Holy crap. I think I'd come just for nachos. Now, I will start by saying I don't think the poke itself is mind-blowing. It is on par of what you would find in like a Safeway deli counter, but it's fine. It's good. But all together, though, with the green onions, the crispy wontons, the sriracha aioli, which is super creamy, nice little bit of hit of spice, could be spicier, but this is obviously going to be very geared towards just general populace, not people that have a high tolerance for spice. I think this is actually a really good appetizer. I would consider getting this just as an entree for myself. Let's move on to our egg roll sampler. I'm going to try 2 of these. So these are their famous different egg rolls here. The egg roll sampler is going to include their avocado egg roll, their Tex-Mex egg roll, their cheeseburger spring rolls, and chicken taquitos. I'm going to start with one of the taquitos.
I mean, a taquito can be an egg roll if you want it to be.
I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised so far. Like, Cheesecake Factory's kind of making me change my opinion about them. I'm just going for their bite. That first bite was really good, but I'm trying a little bit more guac. Crispy, crunchy, flavorful. Again, not spicy. I really do wish there was a little bit more spice. They play it very safe on the heat level, but all in all, not bad. Let's try the avocado egg roll, which is a little weird to me. I'm gonna try it by itself first. Okay, so the avocado egg roll is fine. The issue is it basically just feels like guacamole in an egg roll, which I guess I'm not angry at, but I probably wouldn't order as a separate thing. The egg roll itself is fine. Let's see what Paul thinks about the nachos and his egg rolls.
Now, I don't ever go out of my way for a poke nacho, but I see them on menus all the time. I'm glad that James decided to order them. Nice hefty bite. Those are delicious. Now, the sriracha, I will disagree with James. I think it's the perfect heat level. Normally, you all know I love my stuff really spicy, but I think it complements the overall dish well by not kicking you in the face with spice. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's got the little hint of spice. You got the tuna to cool it off. You've got all the avocado. These are better than I anticipated that they would be. So let's move on. So now I am gonna go with the Tex-Mex egg rolls and what looks like a salsa verde right there. Let's take a bite. And dip it a little bit in that salsa verde. That's a good salsa verde. Nice little heat to it too. You know what? I can't be mad at that salsa. It's actually really good. And the heat's starting to creep up. Egg roll's crispy. Got all your Tex-Mex flavors in it. I came in expecting not to like this as much as I am. I'm quite happy we went with the sampler. Now moving on to the next egg roll and the last of the sampler here, we have the cheeseburger egg roll. I hear a lot of people talk about cheeseburger egg rolls. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't like the idea of them. I've never been a fan, but I'm gonna go ahead, give it an unbiased and honest opinion, and I'm even gonna dip it in the Thousand Island here because you gotta have burger sauce with a burger egg roll. Open mind, open bite. I'm gonna say the cheeseburger egg roll just is not for me. I can see why people like it. You're getting the beefy flavor from the filling inside. You're getting all those cheeseburger flavors. You have a little bit of Thousand Island to cool it. It's almost like having a burger wrapped up and fried in an egg roll. I have to be 100% honest and say that's not for me, but I can see why people enjoy them. Now, our entrees have already come out, so stay tuned. We'll be back with our entrees shortly.
Hey there, everyone. If you're enjoying today's video, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that cute little bell icon for notifications whenever a new episode of James and Paul Eat It All is available. We're going to keep bringing you more recipe videos, more product taste tests, and more restaurant reviews right here on this channel, and we want you guys along for the party. Thanks in advance, guys. We appreciate it. And we're back with our entrees. Now, I went with the French dip cheeseburger because that sounds fantastic. I love a cheeseburger. I love French dips. And I'm hoping that when they're combined together, it's going to be delicious. I will say, so far, goddamn, I hate to like eat crow, but man, I've been pretty impressed so far. So I'm hoping they continue the trend here. They won me over on the cocktails. They won me over on the bread. They won me over on the appetizers. Let's see if we can go for the entrees too. Now, the French dip cheeseburger is going to be a charbroiled cheeseburger stuffed on a toasted brioche roll with grilled onions, sriracha mayo, and au jus for dipping, as well as a side of fries. Let's start with the fries, just get that out of the way. A little ketchup. It's a French fry. They're not bad. Could be crispier, but they're not bad. You know, salted well, standard French fry. Now let's go in for the real star of this plate. That is the French dip cheeseburger. The sriracha mayo throws me off a little bit. I mean, I would have much more expected like a horseradish mayo, but we'll see how it is by itself. It's messy. Tasty though. Sriracha mayo has a nice little bite to it. You know, the burger's cooked pretty decently. I asked for a medium rare. It looks like it's a little bit closer to medium, but I'm not going to be super angry about that. The au jus, I wish there was a little bit more salt to it, but other than that, it's not bad. All in all, it's a pretty enjoyable bite. The cheese is nice and creamy. The onions are cooked perfectly. It's very juicy. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. When they said chicken bellagio, I didn't realize that, it was going to be this big. There's 2 giant hunks of crispy fried chicken breasts, a mountain of prosciutto and arugula, and it's sitting on top of an entire mountain of pasta, which is supposed to be a basil pasta with a cream sauce. This thing already looks aesthetically pleasing. It's huge, and people wonder why, we have weight problems in this country. The chicken Bellagio has to be why. This could almost have its own Bellagio fountain show.
I mean, our portions in the US are out of control.
That all said, let's dig into this thing. I don't know where to start. Let's start with the chicken. Let's grab a little bit of the chicken, swirl it in the cream sauce.
I like there's a nice little arugula salad on top.
I know, the little arugula salad is a nice touch. Let's try the chicken by itself. Oh my God. That's good. The cream sauce is creamy. It's got enough salt in it to take you down. So yes, it is a little on the saltier side. If you're not into a lot of salt and sodium in your food, this is probably not the entree to go with.
If you're watching your sodium levels.
That too. But you also got the little bits of arugula. So I'm gonna just kind of mix that in. Mix in some of the prosciutto. Let's get a little bite of the pasta here. Okay, I can already tell right now, the pasta does look al dente. I want to get a little bite of everything though. Let's get a little bite of everything, which is a big bite. This is actually quite delicious. I'm getting the punch of the basil, the little pepperiness of the arugula. The prosciutto just rounds it out. The cream sauce, all that salt mixes with the pasta. I'm quite impressed with this. You know what, Cheesecake Factory, you met the mark here on the entree as well. Like, the only thing that's missing from this dish is you need a little Bellagio fountain show to go with it. But we're gonna go ahead and finish off our entrees, try to eat as much of this food as we can, and then we'll be back to you with some cheesecake.
5 minutes later.
So I just want to say one thing about our prior experiences on this channel with chain restaurants. If you caught our Olive Garden video where we pretty much just trash Olive Garden because the pasta was mushy, it was just not good. It was bland. I want to just say this about the pasta that I had here on my plate at Cheesecake Factory. For a place that has so many things on its menu that it doesn't specialize in pasta, for them to get a pasta better than Olive Garden, That says something. This pasta is al dente. It's got flavor to it. The basil sauce has flavor. This is what I was expecting when we did Olive Garden, and we did not get that there. Cheesecake Factory is doing something that other chains aren't. Shots fired.
A few minutes later.
Holy crap, I am so full. That being said, it's time for dessert. Now, can't come to Cheesecake Factory without getting cheesecake. So we've got 2 slices of cheesecake. We went with their original classic cheesecake, the one that started it all. And then we went with our service edition of the lemon raspberry cheesecake. Frankly, the second one sounds better to me, but I am determined to find out, is the base cheesecake product actually good? Let's give it a nice little bite. I don't immediately hate it. It's creamy, it's rich, good vanilla flavor to it. The cream cheese flavor is very strong. Yeah, it's not bad, but all in all, not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on now to the lemon raspberry cheesecake. This one feels a little bit thicker. Looks like there's some actual cake layers in there. Again, it's not bad. It's not mind-blowing. I think I could probably make a better lemon raspberry cheesecake. I wish the lemon flavor was a little bit stronger. The raspberry flavor I think is good, but could stand to be stronger. The base cheesecake is very similar, from what I can tell, the same as the original. The cake itself is a little on the dry side, but not bad. This feels like it's still defrosting, like this was frozen recently. If this is the weakest experience of the whole meal, that hasn't been a terrible meal. Honestly, Cheesecake Factory's kind of surprised me. But I will say that I find it a little sad that I'm just kind of feeling kind of meh about their cheesecake. I think if I were to come back, I would save the calories and just get the cheesecake.
I have to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the idea that there's a sour cream topping. It's just, sour cream has just never been an ingredient I'm the hugest fan of, but it does make for a great cheesecake. So it's one of those things that I just tolerate when I'm enjoying a good cheesecake. So let's give the original a bite. Get a little bit of the cream here, because gotta have your cream. I have to agree with James. It's very basic. You get the tang from it, you get the flavor of the cream cheese, and there's a little bit of graham cracker on the bottom, but you're just not getting much else.
I think it's better than like your average cheesecake you find at a grocery store.
Oh, it's way better than a cheesecake that you find at a grocery store. But in terms of things that we've made in our own kitchen, ordered at a specialty cheesecake shop that we go to, yes, we are that type of snob, it's pretty much on the middle of the road. It passes the test for cheesecake, but I don't think it goes further.
That's my opinion!
Now, let's move on to the lemon raspberry. Yeah, as I'm cutting into it, it's defrosting. One thing that I have, heard, and I've seen the discourse online that a lot of times the cheesecake isn't made here in the restaurant. They get it shipped and, they pre-make it in a Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
I'd like to imagine it like an actual factory, just like, shooting out like, butt tons of like, pollution into the ozone to make cheesecake.
I've always found when it comes to like pre-made desserts, pre-packaged desserts that are made elsewhere, we encounter a similar thing on our Vegas channel with those Buddy Velastro cakes in a vending machine. These are much better than that. At the end of the day, everything else we ordered is far better. Well, that all said, we're gonna rebox these cheesecakes because we're taking it home and we're gonna finish them, enjoy them later, but we'll be back with our final thoughts on the Cheesecake Factory.
Alrighty, friends, so we have just wrapped up our meal at the Cheesecake Factory, and I guess I'm eating crow because, frankly, all in all, I don't have much negative things to say about it. Like, I honestly thought it was just going to end up being very kind of meh, and while the cheesecake was kind of meh, all in all, I think everything else that we have was actually pretty good.
For me, I went into this not expecting much and being a little pleasantly surprised.
I know a lot of people think Cheesecake Factory is expensive, and in the realm of like casual, chain restaurants, yeah, okay, it's kind of pricey. But
here's a big but to that, and I'm going to elaborate real quick here. Our Olive Garden video.
Right.
We spent more than the $20-something for our entrees.
I guess my opinion of Cheesecake Factory was wrong. I will be the first to admit when I am wrong, and wasn't as bad as I thought.
There's 5 billion other items.
So many things to order, which again, that's a negative. That's a critique for me. I I've literally become frozen when I have a menu 15 pages long. You know, I'm so accustomed to going to restaurants where you get a one-page menu where it's like 6 different entrees, 6 different appetizers, and maybe 1 or 2 desserts, and that's it.
And that is why we are 2 food snobs.
Yeah.
So on the terms of ranking the places that we've tried so far for this series, I think we're going to put Cheesecake at number 1.
Yeah, weirdly enough.
Coming in next would then be Texas Roadhouse.
Absolutely.
Then Applebee's.
Ugh.
And the only reason they get that 3rd spot is because of the
Olive
price.
Garden was worse.
And Olive Garden was worse.
Yeah. So on that note, my friends, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that little bell icon for notifications whenever a new episode of James and Paul Eat It All is available. Right now, we don't have a set release schedule. It's kind of like when we are able to get these out, because we are also working on our primary channel, James and Paul Try It All, which is mostly a Las Vegas and other travel-focused channel. Be sure and check that out if you enjoy Las Vegas content. We also got some cruise content coming up later this year. It's time to wrap this up. I've had a good time, but I want to go to take a nap now. I'm so full. These videos are the reason I'm so fat.
And on a menu like Cheesecake Factory, where the calories go into the thousands,
Where 1 cheesecake meets your daily caloric requirement, yes.
we do hope you have a great one.
Bye, guys. I still can't get over the idea of just like a really industrial cheesecake factory. You know, cheesecakes on conveyor belts and machines like squirting everything everywhere. And, you know, Powerhouse play in the background.
Hey, bros, what's going on? This is Cotton. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.